Good morning, ladies. This is yours and only Monica with the K and Sanuki in Heavens. And this morning, the topic that is going to be talked about is to please or not please. And one of the biggest issues with a person who was sexually molested at an early age is that we become pleasing people. We please people. We just cannot we cannot handle it. We cannot handle ourselves other than pleasing other people, because when we were children and we were crossed, and we didn't realize that we were crossed, and we actually the way we actually dealt with the situation, we actually learned to please people. We learn to be in a submission. How it is when you look at the children or even animals who are being bullied. When an animal is being bullied, they are in a submission. They are overly nice. They are overly sweet, and they are even more bullied when they are pleasing even more. So that is one of the things that you will be dealing with your whole life, that you will end up pleasing everybody and feeling guilty when you do not please people, or when somebody gets a little bit angry with you. That way you get this fear inside, because what happens is, you know, when something happened in our childhoods, and it was a person that we either knew, or it was a respected person, and everybody respected them in a way, and nobody was able to stand up to their bullyism. You kind of learned it from the surrounding people, and you had the fear that if you stood up for yourself, if you actually pushed that person away, if you actually stood up to that person at the early age and told them, you will not yell into my face, if it was anyone from your family or whoever was screaming and yelling into your face, because their anger was so deep-seated that you was the first person to take it out on. And I can see this with my own children, which are at this point my little doggies right here. I get sometimes Future wants to come say hi, because he understands that when mommy is upset, he didn't want to have anything to do with me when I am upset, or when I used to be upset, and I would drink coffee, and I would just, you know, walk up and down and crazy. And I still have those days. When I was dealing with this case at this Czechoslovakian club with the sexual harassment of a worker who lives on the property, who's done it not to only me, but also to a lady who worked after me, and also to a lady or ladies. He's known to bother ladies this way. He's known alcoholic. He takes prescription drugs. So you mix these things together, and as I was speaking about previously, about a highly damaged consciousness, highly damaged, dirty consciousness, is that it's the hill of where it's the hill where all the garbage from the city is being taken out to, and that's how that being smells. Meaning smells not just on the odor, because the stuff they eat, but it's really what they smell like in spirit. When you are very who can really understand this is animals. They can smell these different spirits, but they also learn from us to please them. The only person that does not please anybody, and really has been teaching me not to please, because what happens with pleasing, so, and I've done this throughout my whole life, that I would be pretty much when we see somebody bullying us, or see somebody stronger than us, or somebody who is more aggressive, or who is angry person, we end up kind of like submissing to them, because we do not want them to shoot that anger at us, which usually what happens, they end up shooting it at us anyways, because we do not stood up to it. So for them, we are the cleansing machine. So they always come to us because they see that we never complain when they yell at us. We never stand up to them. We never do anything about it. But what we do is we actually reward their behavior. We reward the sexual molesters when we are afraid of them to tell them, the sexual harassers, when we are afraid to go to the police, to call 911 right in that moment. We are actually feeding them with this power juice. And each time that the next person does not stand up to them, that's how much more power juice, because they are fed off of our sexuality. And since millions of women are walking, pretty much everybody is walking with a leaking sexuality, it's they are being fed off of this energy that is just kind of like, you know, surrounding us, and we become highly drained. That's why we are highly drained throughout the day, because we get up in the morning all fresh, and then suddenly we are just like spreading it all around, yet it is not focused in one direction. And we attract all this, as I say, they are like sexual alcoholics who are coming to you to fill up their cups for free. It's almost like you are a bar. You are a bar full of alcohol of all kinds, and you have all these beings just coming to you. And for us being nice to them, to even have a conversation with them, that is actually filling their cup, so they get re-energized by that very conversation with you. And I have been tracing my own behavior, because I am right now in a times when I resolved majority of my emotional problems. So what happens is that I am so happy. I am so happy, and God is truly right now flowing through me as the waterfall from heaven. That's why I just love to talk to people. I love to just be nice. But I am realizing how much I have been opened to these individuals who, like, let's say yesterday I was walking by the bank, and once you start actually consciously seeing this, that what you have been taught at an early age, you have been taught to, we have been taught to get on our knees and say, oh, so mighty you are, this being, let's say these old people in the music industry, and the parents are bringing their children to these old sick people who are creating the superstars. How they are creating a superstars from children? Because they have the power. They became the devils themselves. They know the system. They are part of the system, and the child is just a new fresh food for all of them to feed off of. Then they are going to dress them in those all kinds of different clothes. Then they are going to put different words in their mouth. And these children, when they reach certain point of certain age, they realize that they are part of Illuminati. They sign the contract to Illuminati. Their parents signed them to it. And what happens is now they are so deep into it. So they do not know how to stand up to it, because now they would have to fight all of the Illuminatis, and they are like a group of them. So this same thing happens, that you actually, when you are pleasing a certain group of people and you know that they are doing something incorrect, at first you come to them nice, but then once you start realizing that there is something very wrong happening, very incorrect spiritually, as far as human rights, and how your own very energy is being invested into those, let's say, many circles that they are. Once you realize right at the beginning, we have to realize not to go too deep into it, because we are still studying these different worlds, yet it is very important for us to stay grounded in God, in our Lord. Okay? I have studied and analyzed all kinds of spiritual movements here down in Florida, but never I really became one movement, because I was God told me how wrong a lot of things are being done, how these circles are meant to be about love and let's hug all each other. But who is the main people who go to these circles? It's those old people or older people who became the very sexual harassers, and they are just putting an outfit of a guru and of these Reiki masters, and they are actually and this is tried and experienced. And I have also spoken to so many young girls who actually went to those circles, felt like they are going to get healing, and the very healing, you get the anti-healing, you get the opposite. You end up being sexually harassed because those very hands, they slip into places where they are not supposed to, and so you really reawaken that old pain. And you are like, oh my God, this is being done in those spiritual circles, this is being done in the churches. Yet we are still pleasing the Vatican. We are still pleasing the priests like they really are someone so godly and such highness and mightiness in our world. And we women especially, we are realizing this, that we are, or the parents are bringing the children to their very hands. And God is saying enough is enough. God is saying enough is enough. This is what Jesus was speaking about. I tell people, Jesus just didn't come to please everybody. He came to show you how to treat one another. Well, once we reach paradise, once we reach heaven, this is how we are going to be to one another, because our sexuality is going to be healed, is going to be purified, so we will not have these ill intentions towards one another. We will not feel aroused around particular people. Why there is this certain arousing energy flowing through the fingers of these old gurus and so forth? Because that's that very demonic energy. It's almost like when you take a drug, but the side effects are more horrifying than the actual effect that you get just for that 5-10 minutes. Okay, when you go to a Reiki session, and I am not talking to all the Reiki people, so if you are a person who is a healer, you would understand. If you are a true healer, that you work with God and you worked on yourself and you are working on this value system, you would not get upset with me. You would actually come here and click I love this video, because you would feel the same. Your eyes would experience, your eyes would witness the similar, and you would not be pleasing those other beings walking around as a godly selves, so disconnected from that one very God that is the only, and I say only, everlasting and fresh energy. The reason why they need us, that young energy or the purer woman, is more the beings that are attracted to you, because they know that if they have one sip of your energy, so much can be done in their bodies, so much can be clean in their bodies with that little tiny bit of God's energy. That's how powerful God's energy is. That's why these sick beings go to children. Why do you think that being in the presence of children and watching children is so mesmerizing and it's so healing? It's because of that energy goes through them. So we really have to start looking around, that who is really the teachers to our children, who is surrounding our children in the school systems, who is the janitor, who is the president, who are the teachers? Are the teachers alcoholics at night? Are the teachers on prescription drugs just becoming the teachers so they can be in a very presence of the people? So we have to stop this, we have to relearn. Okay, the main point of this video is to get fired up and start learning how to not please the bullies, how to get out of this habit of pleasing them, because we were taught early, we started on our flash drive. So I love you guys so much. There is a couple more videos coming. Stay strong, stay purified, stay yourself, and constantly work on deprogramming of these habits, how you act with people, and everything shall be the best. I love you guys so much, and welcome home, welcome to paradise, welcome to our beautiful Garden of Eden.